Hello, Meepo directors. Hey, Mike Maegly. Just wanted to give a little heads up and some advice for the first couple weekends of shows. We got Miamisburg coming up this coming weekend. Then the following weekend is Hamilton and Northmont. So it'll be everybody's first show of the season out, obviously. So, wow, cold weather predicted for this coming week. So let's hope that still allows us to rehearse. It doesn't look like precipitation. So maybe we can all still rehearse. I hope rehearsals are going well. Everybody always wants to know how much to put out there. I would say earlier in my career, I'd be like only what is good, only what is presentable. Now in my career, I would tell you get as much out as you possibly can at that first show. Even if it's a little ugly, just so they can gauge what's going on, where you're going, things like that. So that's my advice on that one. A couple logistic things. Have a good plan. Step one. Have a good plan for this cold weather and the things that you have to get off the truck and get into the building as soon as possible. This includes electrics and tarps. And for my winds groups, obviously, I'm guessing that woodwind instruments and brass instruments, those that'll fit on the bus, are going with the kids on the bus. That would be my move, but those things are going to be drastically affected by the cold. Get those things inside. All of these places, Hamilton, Miamisburg, Northmont, will all understand cold weather and letting you get a tarp and some electrics in the building as soon as you possibly can. Tarp just gets, if you're not used to this, tarps just get really, really unmanageable at certain degrees of cold. Especially if you have to load the truck for these Saturday or Sunday morning shows, if you have to load the truck the night before, yeah, whatever you can do to avoid that, and it spends as little time on the truck as possible, I would certainly do that. But getting those things off the truck in there first. This week in your rehearsals, walk through what warm-up is going to be like. If you've been in these facilities before and you know in and out, a couple of these places are really, really tight in and out with warm-up. Doesn't make it a bad facility. It's just what the lay of the land. When I get to the show site, I will always double check which warm-up you're in. I will walk that route. I will stick my head in the warm-up room and see what that's going to be like. I have a plan for the kids, how we're going to set up in the room. If you're like my group right now, there aren't a whole lot of things that the front ensemble and the battery play together because we're usually separated doing technique. All right, some of you are always together. That's fine. You'll have stuff you can play. It might be that there's two different metronomes going on in the room, and get the kids used to doing that. If you've got 2 rehearsals this week, spend 2 of those in warm-up and spend 15 minutes. Hey, this is what this is going to be like. Know what your time is. Nothing wrong with writing down a plan and having that. Know how you're going to exit the warm-up room, how that flow needs to set up in the hallway, and how that's going to work. That's a great thing. That helps you because you want those kids, that's everybody's first show. You want those kids to hit the floor as calm as possible. Everybody's already going to be charged up, so you want them to be as calm as possible so you don't need that headache out in the hallway. Or, oh gosh, who goes where? You don't need that headache, so don't do that. Have a plan for how this is how we're going to go out. This is the order we need to be in. Even if that means you have to stop warm up a couple minutes early, it's okay. It's okay. I would rather take 2 fewer reps and suddenly we're more prepared, we're more calm going on the floor. So have a plan for that, what you're going to play in warm-up. Don't just wing it. All right, have a plan. I write out a timeline. I've got 3 minutes. We're going to play this warm-up. We're going to play this chunk of book. I like to work backward. I like the last thing we played in warm-up to be the first thing we're going to play on the floor. Just me, that's what we do. Doesn't mean you have to. Doesn't mean it's perfect. That's just kind of what we do. I like that. I like the mindset it puts the kids in. So have a plan for warm-up. Understand that, communicate to the staff, to the kids, to the parents. Know what you're going to do. Keep an eye on the clock. Nothing wrong with watching your phone if that's your clock. Nothing wrong with watching that and staying on top of the time. All right, that's my big suggestion. One of the Miamisburg warm-ups, you come in from outside into the warm-up. Be prepared for that. I think Northmont, you're inside and going in and out of that. I think Hamilton's the same deal. You snake through the building a little bit. So just be prepared. Have a plan for warm-up. Have walk through that and talk through that with the kids. Please. That helps you. That helps the groups going on after you. That helps everybody. So have a plan for that. Have walk through that. Spend some time in rehearsal doing that one. While you're spending time in rehearsal doing something, I know you're like, Mike, we got to get book out there. We got to get show on the floor. I get it. Talk through the walkthrough and the setup on the floor. What the line is. Some of these kids will have no idea. Nobody's going to penalize you the first couple weekends. Oh, we stepped over the timeline too soon. Nobody's going to penalize you for that. But again, you want these kids to get the best possible performance, and let's eliminate all that silliness. When I talk to TMP guys these first couple weekends, every time they're like, gosh, I wish somebody talked these guys through what the on and off is. on the website is listed what the boundary is, what the timeline is. Whether it's front to back, side to side, Northmont side to side, Miamisburg's front to back, Hamilton is back to front maybe? I had to check that one. But anyway, it's all on the website. So they're all listed on there. So have talk through that, walk through that. I spend on we go to Miamisburg on Saturday, on Friday night. That'll be a good hour of rehearsal. We'll talk about on and off, including with the parents. I do a run through for the parents to see them. We'll do a run through in uniforms. That's a key one to do before the first show. All right, we'll do a run through in uniforms. We'll do this. We'll walk through it, talk through it. We will go so far as to go all the way out in the hallway and practice coming into the gym. Have an idea who sets up what. If there's electrics that have to get plugged in and who troubleshoots what, who sets that up, who sets up the floor to get that straight. Have a plan for that. Have a plan for the tarp cart. That's the one. Again, first couple weekends, not as big a deal, but have a plan for that tarp cart because you in the show and it's over here, but it's got to be over here and suddenly, or part of your stage now becomes this tarp cart back in the back corner and all of a sudden you're doing a show and there's a tarp cart back there. That's visual static you don't need. So have a plan for what's going on with the tarp cart. Be prepared that most of these venues, these first 3 weekends, we're going to go from off the floor pretty much straight outside. Miamisburg is directly outside. Northmont, there's a little bit of hallway. Hamilton, there's a little bit of hallway. So have a plan for that. They're talking wind chills this week that are below 0 parts of the day. So have a plan for coats. If you're barefoot or if you've got shoe concerns or something like that, or if you've got part of your ensemble is moving barefoot, something, have a plan for that. Shoes and jackets, have a plan for that, how you're going to handle that one. All these things will help you. Do walk through what it's going to be on the floor. Nobody will probably have their full show out, so you're going to have plenty of time, your interval time. Make sure the kids are as set up as you can be. That tarp's nice and straight. That tarp, we don't have air underneath it. Just walk through that stuff. You've got time. You have time. So make sure you take care of that. Take care of warm up, walking through the setup on and off the floor, all those things. The things we talked about with cold weather, they're greatly affected. Electrics don't like cold and they don't like extreme heat. I would guess everybody that's viewing this probably has some form of electrics in their show, so they don't like those two things. That tarp, when it gets super cold, becomes very, very difficult to work with. All right, very non-pliable, very non-cooperative. Just becomes kind of a rolling block of headache. So have a plan for that. Get your parents involved, talk them through what the schedule is and what the plan and the on and off as well. As always, shoot me any questions you've got by way of email, also available on the Amiibo website. I'll keep videos going on that one. Hope you're having great rehearsals. Questions along the way, shoot me an email, send me a video. Love to see it. I think I'm making tapes at Northmont. I'll be at Miamisburg with Kings. I don't think I'm at Fairfield, but I'll be around. But shoot me an email with questions. Let me know what videos or questions you have or advice you think somebody else needs on that one. Be glad to do it. If you've got advice for me, I'd love to have it. All right, stay warm. Hope rehearsals are going well. Clean those beats.